Welcome back to the first episode of I Read Stuff Off Reddit. That's totally the title. Today, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to move out even though my roommate is 7 months pregnant? Off the top of my head, probably not. There should be like contracts involved. I'm sure if your name is on the lease, like they do 6 months, a year, 7 months pregnant. It's like, I don't know. It's like, congratulations on having sex, but I don't want to be homeless. Let me read it and let's figure this out. Hi, guys. Last week, my roommate, Becca, found out she is not only pregnant, but 7 months along. That seems late to figure out. You see those TV shows where it's like, oh, I didn't know I was pregnant at all. It's like, what? I'm not well versed in the anatomy of like the female situation, but you would think you would know. You'd think I would think that you would think that you would know. It's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, I'm just getting fat. It's really weird. It's like, oh man, I had sex 7 months ago. Now I'm super fat. It's like, oh, I must be allergic. Okay. She texted me that we had to talk today, and I had assumed she would be moving out soon for more space when the baby comes. Instead, she told me I have to move out to make space for the nursery and her baby daddy to move in. I mean, that's they should have. Just got to communicate, got to talk. I'm on a terrible salary, cannot afford anywhere else to live. Plus, like she wants me to move out right now so she can prepare for the baby. Even if I wanted to move out now, the apartment retails in my area are either too expensive or well below living standards, so I don't want to move. She went absolutely crazy the moment I told her I wouldn't move out because I'm ruining her motherhood experience by not letting her family live together. Well, I mean, because there's premature stuff. There's like 2 months. It's like, why do I have to move out now? I guess they want them to start trying to move out. I pay rent here, and my name is on the lease until at least the end of the year. Well, there's no issue. I'm not going to pull out of the lease, and I told her that if she wants her little family together, she should move, and I'll find someone to half the cheap rent with. That makes sense to me. It doesn't say that the pregnant lady is on the lease. I don't even know if you could do that. I don't know if, like, let's say they didn't say their name, but person one, they're renting. Can you just be like, oh, this is your apartment now? Normally they'd have to at least contact the owner or whatever and work it out like that. Okay, let's continue. That made her start crying and saying how I just want to ruin her life to the point her baby daddy had to console her and tell me to get out of their way already. I've not heard her stop crying since, but I think I'm totally valid that I don't want to leave. Am I the asshole for not wanting to move out? I'd say no. It's a situation where you're putting expectations onto other people, where it's like, okay, yeah, I know you would like life to be a certain way, Becca, but that's that's gonna like ruin this lady's life. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you control the world. Doesn't mean that you get to dictate. Uh, Potential solutions. You move out. I guess okay. There it is. She wants the cheap rent, and it's like, oh man, we found this great situation. But lady's name is on the lease. She gets to stay. It's gonna be uncomfortable, especially with baby daddy. What was the baby daddy doing? Got some baby daddy drama. Oh no. Her baby daddy had to console her and tell me to get out of their way already. I guess that's kind of the situation she's in, where they don't really care about her. That it's like, oh, get out of our way. That they're a couple, they're a family, and they prioritize their happiness with no regard to the other person. Although September, I mean, 2 months, that is end of the year. Um, So it may just work itself out naturally. It's like, I guess the lady needs to go. I mean, her name is on the lease. It didn't really go into details about if the other person's name is on the lease, if Becca's name is on the lease. So it's going to be a situation where it's going to work itself out naturally. Like in the end of the year, they don't have a place, they're not on the lease. But also, it's going to be uh, some difficulties in the meantime. Okay, what do people say? Yeah, this is a her problem, not a you problem. She wants the cheap rent for her and her baby daddy. Your name is on the lease, you pay rent. She can't kick you out. However, be prepared for a very uncomfortable living situation from now on. Yo, number one, what are the votes? 29,000? 29,000 essentially agree with this person who said the same thing that I said. So they had the courage and audacity and the well timed ability to just go out there and be like, I'm gonna type my opinion on the internet, which I'm doing this. I'm recording a video and I'm putting it on the internet with my face. Oh no! So in that way, in that very specific regard, this person who agrees with me or my sentiment, my statements prior agreed with their statement. And so who is really the more courageous? Where does baby daddy live now? If she wants to move him in, he has a place already. Can she not move in with him? That's what I'm saying. Name's on the lease. Her pregnancy, her relationship, her problem. Yeah. Okay. Also, it's like, man, I don't think it's actually like an exceptional leap for me to say. It's like this seems like common stuff. It's like, yeah, it's you're on the lease. You have to look out for yourself. They're obviously not doing that. Their priorities are themselves, and generally people should prioritize their own happiness, their own pursuit of happiness, I suppose. But you don't want it to people with a conscience, people with that are like well formed human beings, don't want to impose a negative situation upon other people. And sometimes people do that though. Sometimes people are like, I want my screw you. I don't care. I want to look after myself. And so when you encounter those people, you can't really worry about them being unhappy because they inevitably will unless they get the ultimate that they think that they're entitled to, but they're not entitled to it. You're entitled to your own happiness and you have to protect that. Also, dab. Am I the asshole for telling my sister her baby's name sounds like a dog's name and now she won't talk to me? Well, that sounds really rough. Rough. Yeah, so initial thought, people can name themselves whatever. Is it gonna be like Spike, Fido? If it's Fido, I'm gonna agree with the poster. Anything short of Fido, maybe a Rex in there. It's like I knew of a person with that name, Spot. So maybe if the name that the person went with is Fido or Spot. What's that skin condition? Vertigo. It's like if you name your kid Spot, it's like maybe no, you're definitely an asshole. But let's read on and see what the name was. But I'm leaning towards asshole because I mean you can name a kid whatever. Now should you though? Because no, definitely shouldn't name a kid whatever. But like, doesn't matter. My sister had a baby. Congratulations on having sex. I'm happy for her. Her baby's name is Rough. Oh no, Rough, Rough. This can't be real. This can't be real. It sounds like a dog. I thought she was joking and laughed. I was wrong. Um, Man, rough. Not Spot, not Fido. Rough. Rough. Rough Douglas. Rough MacArthur. Rough Smith. Rough. Oh, man. 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 If you asked why I was laughing, I said it sounded like a dog barking. Ruff. I thought we were laughing. But she got mad. She was angry. She said I was being disrespectful and that her name had meaning to her and her husband, which I guess is fine. They love an obscure video game character. Yo, I named my kid Cloud. It's just because a video game does it. Just because I'm someone in media. Yo, I decided to name my kid Reek. Oh, he has an arc. He redeems himself. I don't remember because man, that last season was so bad. Remember that dark episode where you couldn't see anything? I kind of do. But yeah, you shouldn't do that. But people will associate it, and it might be hard for them in school. Won't return text or calls. Mom says I should have kept my mouth shut. But let's look back. Is it she had a baby? The baby is named. Is there anything we could? Is there a way we could save this? If it was like a ruffian Smith. It's like that's better. Then you could go by the nickname could be Rough. Is there any other roughs? It's quite rough to figure that out. Let me know in chat. What could rough be short for? I don't mean to be a jerk, Steve Martin, but rough. I can't be the only one who thinks this could backfire. So I told my sister that his baby noun sounds like a dog's name. It doesn't. Okay, first of all, it does not sound like a dog's name. It sounds like the sound a dog makes. She hit him with that onomatopoeia. She's like, yo, rough. But also it's only one. In the context, people will. But in a formal setting, which you just got to get them through 12th grade, right? Rough. It's fine. Like the teacher's not going to be rough. Okay. Are they the asshole? Now that's the question. Because there's not really much they can do. Let's go back and look at the reaction. It's going to be very dependent. If they were like, your name is stupid, asshole. If they were like, oh, that's funny. Why is it funny? They explain why it's funny, not the asshole. Very slight, but distinct difference. Okay, she asked me why I was laughing. I'm gonna go not the asshole. Mom, slightly. You gotta go ruffian. Rufio. Roof. It's like, oh, ladies, you gotta watch your drink. You don't wanna get roofed. Okay, what do they say? Not the asshole. That's what I agreed with, but it's close. Could have handled it better. That's a ridiculous name for a child. Already cringing at the jokes. Hi, my name is Rough. Oh, that is funny. Oh, is it that because your parents were doing it doggy style while you were conceived? Yeah, that is funny. Isn't it an absurd name? I'd have to look up the definition of absurd. I feel like it's maybe there's different meanings. Like when I think of absurd, I would think like, oh, there's a giant blue elephant over there. It's like, oh, that's quite absurd. This is just like a bad name. Looks like not the asshole. That's rough, buddy. It's gonna have a rough life. It's a hard, rough life. Rough. For me. Rough. Yeah, I mean that's pretty simple. What would be the most exotic / esoteric name you could give to a child that people would think is acceptable? Okay, so completely off tacos. It's like, oh no, We're not getting tacos today. Completely off topic. Sigourney Weaver. I didn't know that, I don't think that's her real name. Uh, she took a stage name based off a character in The Great Gatsby. Never read it. I didn't even watch the movie. I have a general understanding of the happenings of Gatsby. But yeah, like Sigourney. I would say that was an uncommon name. Could you name that for either sex? Probably. I don't know. Off topic. Trailing off. I don't know where to go. So I will just take this elevator. Boop. Okay, back with another one. Another one. Another one. Am I the asshole for ruining, in quotation marks, am I the asshole for ruining my friend's vacation? Air quotes. Air quotes. Are you the asshole for using air quotes? I guess in this instance, they're actually quoting what the other person said. So probably not. In real life, if you use air quotes, probably would just like not completely dismiss what you're saying, but look upon you with a level of revulsion and contempt. It will diminish my view of you for doing that, so probably shouldn't. Not to that extent, but maybe. But maybe. I, female 38, just got back from vacation with two of my longtime friends, Kate, female 40, and Mary, female 38. Millennials. I've known them both since university. Okay, probably British, European, and we've always been close. The three of us have been planning this Bali trip for a few months, along with our husbands and their kids. Congratulations on having sex. Pow. They both have children under 5. Okay. While my husband, Jake, Mel, 45, and I are child free. We agreed to split the cost of a 4-bedroom villa 3 ways, and everything seemed fine at first. Okay, no, I already know where this is going. This is going to go where it's like, oh, we want you to watch our children so we can have an vacation. I mean, it happens. It's like, oh, yes, I've had children. I want to be free of their presence. I want them to cast them away. Disperse. Disperse. You minute nuisance. And so I'm going to cast that dispersion onto these people I invited just to do that. But they're paying. They're paying, so get out of here with that. Like, if they weren't paying, it's like, sure, you got to watch the kids, but they split it 3 ways. Jake, State Farm, and I arrived in Bali earlier than the rest of the group. Because we had different flights. Doesn't seem relevant. Once we got to the villa, we wanted to choose rooms with our friends and didn't mind when they both chose the ones with in-suites. I think, what does that mean? They have bathrooms there? Actually, I can just look it up. I have access to the internet. Yeah, they have bathrooms. We had a great time during the trip. Jake and I did some couples activities, massages, hiking, dinners. But we also spent time with Kate and Mary and their families whenever it worked out for everyone. To be nice, I even surprised them with massages to give them a break. Hey, walking down the street, watch out, massage. Yeah, I mean that potentially they just get the karate chop. Surprise ninja. So a bunch of I don't think was this person's name. Did they ever say their name? So I don't think her and Jake were sneaking around imposing massages on their friends. They probably hire some massage ninjas who sneak about. Surprise, ninja. Okay. The only thing that made me uncomfortable was that whenever I ordered a drink, a cocktail before dinner, or a glass of wine with Mills, I'd get comments like, "Oh, you're drinking again." For context, social drinker, don't drink often. But they're on vacay. Vacay, holiday, Go-Go's, it's probably fine. Didn't think it was a big deal. The husbands were drinking. So it could be like the parents don't drink. They didn't say the exact age of the children, but there could be reasons for that, I guess. Homelander. The last night, Jake and I made plans with the guys to go out, and Kate and Mary said they were staying in to pack. Jake convinced me to join him, and since it was the last night, uh, didn't want to stay in either. Had a great time. Got home at 1 a.m. Passed out straight after. Next morning, bit chaotic. Everyone packing, checking out. So it wasn't the children thing. We all made it back home without issue. We had booked business class. Rich people separated during the flight. Said quick goodbyes at the airport. Okay, so they got a long text from Kate saying that both she and Mary wanted to reduce contact with me because I had ruined their vacation. Before reading anymore, how could she have ruined the vacation? Um, people downplay their issues. It does, like, the alert came off. It's like, oh, you got home at 1 a.m., which is, I guess, fine, but passed out immediately. So I am inclined to think the lady's maybe drinking more what she can take. I don't know if that's the correct verbiage, but it seems like she says she's a social drinker, but also doesn't go out much. I feel like that was in there, and so she's probably drinking. But let's see what they say. Like me drinking every night, like a girl's girl that I booked different flights, didn't hang out with them. So maybe they got that peanut butter, but they also got that jelly, that business. They got that business accommodation jelly. Okay, because they didn't help for the kids. It always comes back to that. Stupid kids. Yeah, always comes back to the kids. It's even said I was just focused on partying and not acting my age. This message really hurt me. So what does that mean, really? She's they put an expectation upon her wherein it's like you should act your age, which is defined by them. Their experience being mothers. They wanted her to be motherly to their children. Could be a situation where they're just different life points, even though approximate same age, 38, 38, 38, 40. I guess that does make a big difference. Where I'm gonna say that they felt left out in a way, where they were no longer in the same uh, group. The commonality of their experience diverged based off of requirements. I mean, they have to look after the kids' experiences. Cried after reading it, don't know what to think. Different view. Yeah, it's just different life stuff. They're saddled, they're burdened uh, with children. Uh, and this lady is like, yo, I don't even have a cat. I can just do whatever. Okay, what do people say? I mean, obviously not the asshole. Jealous, expected you to lighten their child care load. Yep. Just because you go on vacation with them on holiday, you have to stay and look after the children just because you're a woman. Oh yeah. Also, yeah, the husbands didn't have an issue. The husbands could go and drink and do whatever. I guess it's because the husbands didn't split or manage that with their wives, the child care aspect, and they dumped it all on them, and they thought that uh, the OP would also be just with them doing stuff. But she's like, nah, they ain't my kids. I'm gonna go with my husband. We're gonna go get some pina coladas. We're gonna make this holiday happen. Go on holiday to enjoy things, food, beverages, experiences. Yeah, I'm gonna side with this person. 100% jealous. Yeah, so live your life. Child free has benefits. Money. Get to do what you want. versus having to having to look after your kids. I mean, it's kind of good that they're no, it is good. It is good that they at least looked after their children, but you can't, you shouldn't impose that on other people. You shouldn't impose that duty onto other people because you well, yeah, okay, because it hasn't been that well, maybe, but it's not like you were forced to have kids yet. We're gonna see how well this ages, but you weren't forced to have kids yet, and so you shouldn't force that burden upon other people. Cool. Okay, let's do the last one. This is from Am I the Devil? So far, they've all been generally, it's like, yeah, you're not the asshole. This one probably is going to be. Am I the asshole for throwing out my sister's organ? Probably. It's like, kidney, lung, heart. She needs these things. Jackass. My sister is always intentionally trying to be the odd one out in the family. Recently, she had her first child. Congratulations on having sex. Pow. And she decided she wanted to have her placenta taken by some woman and dried and treated. What? So she could scatter it like ashes or plant it with a tree or whatever. Uh, okay. So placenta, that's like childbirth stuff. What's the like corn grit thing? Polenta. It's like, okay. I mean, I can understand if you want to take your polenta and scatter it like ashes, but also if you want to take your placenta, you can do that as well. Initially, it seems like, yeah, I mean, that seems fine. She wants to do it, it'll make her feel good. It says that she considers herself very witchy, which causes a lot of friction. Why would it? I guess if people want to be witchy, if this wants to be a witchy woman, uh, yeah, cool. It really has no impact. I guess I mean I'm gonna predict stuff. It's like the person is gonna be like, witches are bad. You have not conformed to my standard of decency. You therefore I shall take your polenta, and I will eat it, and then I will take the placenta that you have saved from childbirth, and I will discard it into the trash, which I probably will be taken to a landfill. So it's like we kind of got close to the circle. I mean, it might be planted. A tree won't grow, but the lady had a child. Wants to bury her placenta so a tree can grow. Sounds nice. Sounds pleasant. How is this person going to ruin it? There's a woman, the placenta woman, was supposed to come pick it up, but then my mom and our aunties surprised my sister with a whole bunch of frozen meals. She was in the newborn phase, and there wasn't enough room in her deep freeze for all the dishes plus the giant bag of ice and placenta. I wonder, man, the use of aunties, it probably doesn't mean biological aunts. It probably means just like her mom's friends and stuff. But also, it leads me to like culturally, maybe that's where the issue is. Religion mixed with like would maybe look down upon being witchy. Okay, so my sister texted the woman and said she could be dropped off early, and so the sister made accommodations to get the placenta to where the placenta needed to be. This woman just had a baby. She's on top of it. She's on top of the placenta issue. She knows where the placenta needs to be, and she has a plan to get the placenta there. My mom essentially volunteered me to drop it off since it was on my way home. I mean, that does suck. Getting volunteered to do stuff. I can understand why that person would be upset. what should happen is they should ask if you would like to do this, and then guilt trip you when you don't want to. But they shouldn't just say it. It's like, oh, you have to go over here and chop wood for an hour. It's like, but you didn't even ask me. I picked up my husband. Oh, so this isn't a child. I picked up my husband on the way because he had a few drinks after work and was being responsible. Cool. When he saw the cooler in the back, he looked in it and was extremely grossed out seeing the frozen placenta. After some discussion, he made me realize it was really disrespectful to him. And to rope us into this because he has very strong beliefs in God. There's also hygiene and health concerns my husband brought up. Your husband's a jerk. You're also a jerk. He's like a man baby, I guess. So like, oh no, I snooped into other people's things, and I because of religiously, yes, the popishly, the papally, I have determined that I cannot stand this assault on my beliefs. No, I don't even know. It's like, just don't open it, shut it, deal with it, go do what you're supposed to do. Don't throw it out. But of course they're going to. Got to a point where it was either he was going to get out of the car and walk. Well, time to walk. Get that Uber. Or the placenta needed to be out of the car. I texted my sister to come pick it up and our mom. But after ages without an answer, we ended up throwing it out. So what are you doing? So they stopped on the side of the road. They stopped on the side of the road and we're like, okay, we gotta take the ice chest out. It can't be near my husband. If it does, he might absorb some of the placenta power and be deformed. An abomination from the placenta. And so they just waited on the side of the road, I suppose, for the placenta police to show up. But they ended up throwing it out. She's furious and has started making it other people's problems. I know it wasn't the nicest, but it also doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I offered to cover the deposit to put down with the woman who was going to process it. I even got her a gift card to the witch store she likes to get some herbs and stuff to do the ritual she wanted, despite it being against my values. It's just some religious bigots who found excuses. They found reasons. They found excuses like, this is probably against my religion. Probably. And they were like, yeah, okay. We're gonna be a giant asshole, and it's not. Well, it's like, hey man, hey lady, just have another baby. You make some more placenta. It's like, oh no, don't do that. She still claims, even after apologizing, making amends and covering her losses, I'm an asshole. She won't let me come to see my niece and refuses to come to or bring my niece to family events I'm at, which is causing huge problems with the family. She has every right. This is no contact situation. This is F you, F your life. You're not part of mine type of situation. It's like, that's a pretty big deal. To post the situation here, and if it's hormones or sleep deprivation making her overreact, she will let it go. It's not. If I'm in the wrong, I don't know what else I can do that I haven't already to make it up to her. Was this really such an asshole thing? Even after the amends? Yes, it's irreplaceable. Like, how are you going to replace that? My understanding, without Googling what a placenta is, it's going to take some months. It's not like you're going to go down to the placenta store. You're going to have to delve into illegal activities. You're going to have to sneak into hospitals, steal other people's placenta. Even then, this is not a situation you can rectify. Through time and stuff, it will lessen, but she specifically wanted her placenta from her daughter, birth, and that is gone. That is lost. You have deprived it of her because your husband felt uncomfortable. That's just an excuse. You listened to your husband. You listened to yourself and you made these choices. This is your fault. I mean, obviously. So here's the comment. Do not agree to do things that are against your religious beliefs, and then when it's too late to back out without consequence, leave the other person high and dry. I mean, that's what it is. If you didn't really want to do it, you should have said, hey, I can't do it. They would have been upset and people would have done it. But you made the worst choice. Once you accept that that's what you're going to do, you have to follow through. You can't around and just like change your mind in the middle. This isn't no, not a stairway to heaven. Presumably an adult, not an excuse to be volunteered. You didn't have to agree. Yeah, you can say I can't do it. Yeah, not obligated to express her emotions and just forgive you. Yeah, it's really about not respecting her sister's beliefs or her sister's desires. I think I talked about that earlier, where the lady didn't care about other people. She only thought about herself and was like, I don't want to do this. It's this slight inconvenience to me. Bizarre. And then, yeah, just in a box. Why does your husband believe in God? Make him think it's okay to disrespect your sister's ritual. Nothing to do with him. You only get one placenta per pregnancy. Once again, I don't know exactly what it is, but twins, you get two. The 2-for-1 deal. Triplets. Octomom potentially had a plethora of placenta. All I'm saying is, it's like, man, look at all this placenta. Yeah, it's like I don't even need to read this. So this is what it was. I don't know if you can ever really recover from that, because there is no way to rectify what the sister did. She bought her a gift card. I destroyed your thing that you cannot replicate, because like sure you can have another kid, but that would be the placenta for that kid, or the placenta in that kid's birth. It's like the details of what a placenta is quite fuzzy. But she will not be able to get that placenta back from the first child. And so, yeah. So leave a comment. I don't know. Why would you leave a comment? Um, hey, what's that over there? Look away. Oh, thanks for watching. Now look away. Over there.